Hi, my name is Brooke Morrison, and my presentation is on the partnership between the Comox First Nation and the SFU Archaeology Field School. My goal for this video was to tell the story of reconciliation through this partnership. This project was made for Communications 387 and was a partnership between the Comox Nation, SFU Archaeology Field School participants, and previous Communications 387 class members. The Comox First Nation was affected by residential schools, with many of their members being taken away from home and stolen from their culture. In this video, Andy Everson tells the story of his grandfather, the late Chief Andy Frank, who was taken to the Alert Bay Residential School. He lost a lot of information about his culture due to the abuse and trauma that occurred there, but he made it his mission for Comox history, language, and culture to be passed down through future generations. Since then, there has been quite a bit of land development on the Comox land, and important artifacts are being lost that are a crucial part of the Comox history. That's why it was important for them to have an archaeology team come in and find these artifacts for them. In the summer of 2019, the SFU Archaeology Department Field School went to the Comox First Nation to excavate the site. This partnership was mutually beneficial as students were able to learn about archaeology and get experience on a real excavation site. They were also able to learn about Comox history and culture by being there. The Comox Nation was able to find new parts of their history that they thought had been lost. The young people in the Comox First Nation were able to see these items being excavated and learn more about their past and their history, upholding Andy Frank's mission. By making this video, I learned so much about the Comox First Nation and their culture, and how the effects of residential school are still impacting them today. I hope that by making this video, I can bring awareness to these issues and also show how the partnership between SFU Archaeology and Comox First Nation is such a positive thing. I also hope that this video will bring hope that lost culture can be found again and future generations can learn about their history. Thank you. Here's my video.
My grandfather, the late Chief Andy Frank, was sent to Alert Bay for residential school, and for him, he grew up a fluent speaker of the Comox language and learned many of his stories, ancestral stories, from a young age. But when he went to residential school, a lot of that information was lost because of the trauma and the abuse that happened in residential school. He made a pact basically to uphold our culture and our community. And so our family and other families in the community try to uphold the legacy that my late grandfather had here amongst the Comox people.
Well, for me, looking back now and kind of looking forward would be some of the most important things and valued things is our archaeological sites. Things that you want saved for future generations, because there's so much and it gets so developed here that we're losing a lot of these things. And it's not something that we can just snap our fingers and have it all stopped and kind of restore everything. So that's the big change for me, is seeing everything depreciating.
You know, it's taking a glimpse at what was remaining of our culture materially from a long time ago, and trying to extrapolate what that means to present day culture. It's just making that connection and that leap between present knowledge that has been passed down, knowledge that's been written from early anthropologists, and then going back to 1400 years ago. And I think that it also strengthens our long-term claim on this territory, and it's showing that we've occupied these sites for thousands of years, and so that's just one area, and I think that we're grateful that SFU is able to provide this for us.
Yeah, I think archaeology is very important, and especially working together with groups like SFU, because we're not going to have all the expertise we need, but to be able to share not only our sites for study, but to share the knowledge that comes out of that. For us, you know, it's completely invaluable. Like half of the time we wouldn't even know what we're looking at. We've been out a couple times this summer and, you know, we're looking at stuff going, oh, that's just a rock. And being out with an archaeologist, they're like, no, that's not just a rock. Like, look at everything around, and you realize you're standing in an area where, you know, they'd been chipping and making tools for who knows how long. But without the knowledge of the students and the instructors that come from SFU, you know, a lot of us wouldn't know what we know now.
It was kind of nice to get down there and learn and see and find the ages of certain things that they had. And, you know, there's just so many cool things that you can learn from. Yeah, just the different areas that they were digging and the depths that they were finding stuff in was phenomenal. And I think it's great that the students get to come in and work there as well, because it's such a wealth of knowledge that the kids can pick up, the students from SFU can use, and to hopefully carry on in their future, right? So it was nice because I'd actually go down there after work and spend time down there just on my own free time. I'd take my son down there and we'd just go hang out and watch and learn and get our hands dirty as well. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think having the SFU students and the professors come, and I think it's a good thing, because it's just going to encourage our youth and our younger folks as they keep doing this over the years to get involved as well. And I think the more knowledge our youth have, the more respect they're going to have for the culture and the land themselves.